Welcome to the Medical Device Made Easy podcast. Here is Munir Lazouzi from easymedicaldevice.com, and today we'll do the November 2025 update. Okay, so before to start, let's talk about our sponsor. Who is our sponsor? It's MedBoard. Who is MedBoard? Let's listen to this.
Hello, it's Antonella here from MedBoard. We are proudly sponsoring this podcast, and if you're struggling in keeping up to date with regulatory news and requirements, we have a solution for you. MedBoard is the only one knowledge and automation platform for regulatory, clinical, market, and PMS in medtech, pharma, and life sciences. With our unique approach, we combine extensive global data, software products, and AI solutions for many different processes, from regulatory intelligence to literature reviews, post-market surveillance, work management, and many more. Our platform is transforming knowledge accessibility and process productivity to let you know more and do faster. We are already changing people's lives like you, with proven value from our customers. So just contact us at medboard.com to learn more about us and do a free trial. And now, enjoy this podcast with Munir.
Okay, so today we will start with some European legislation that have or change, or will change, or will come, etc. So let's start with one. The first one is the Joint Clinical Assessment Procedure. So this is the legislation 2025-2086. So mainly this legislation, to be honest, is a bit difficult to understand. So I made some kind of, I cheat a bit here because I tried to read mainly what it is about, and I didn't really understood. So then I asked an AI tool to tell me what are we talking about here, and now I understand. So it's really a great legislation if you really want to go to the European market. Mainly this is for products that will need some reimbursement. So mainly the idea here is that after you get your CE certificate, the idea is to apply within this new legislation, the 2025-2086, where you will be then going through a process related to verify all the clinical aspect of your products, all the things, all the financial things of your products, and then maybe you'll be granted with an approval, which then can be submitted to all the countries in the European Union. So then you can go more easily to the reimbursement process on for your medical device, for your product. So this is interesting, but the process of this starts only just after the certification, and I think I have to review again, but I think you have to get some recommendation for that or something like that. So this is legislation that is really important for you, because as we talk about reimbursement, this is something that everybody can get, but the process can be difficult. So instead of you going to each country one by one to ask for reimbursement, you can go through this process, and this will make your life more easier for the next step. So be the winner or the hero for your company just by giving them this idea to say, oh, let's apply for this. Maybe this can help us for getting a quicker reimbursement. Just check, because I think there are something about high risk product, whatever. Just check again which product is eligible. But yeah, there is really some benefits to go through that. Okay, now we have the position paper from Team NB on the companion diagnostics. So companion diagnostics, again, this is a IVD product that is used to screen or to select some patients for going through a certain medication. For example, you have a certain cancer. To verify if the medication will really work with your cancer, you have this IVD companion diagnostic product that will be testing you. So you have some maybe biopsy or whatever that will test you, and then they will verify that yes, you have those markers that are specific for this type of medicine that you'll be using. So the position paper is mainly about significant changes. So mainly what significant changes you will be doing, or which significant change has an impact. And here we talk about significant change to be communicated to the health authority, because as we are talking about a medicine, so you have then also maybe to go to the EMA. But also, if you go to the EMA, you have also to go to the notified body to tell them that there is some change. And on this position paper, the Team NB provide also a graph on when you should contact who, when, etc., etc. So this is helpful in that condition. So if you are working in companion diagnostic, in IVD companion diagnostic. Then take this position paper, read it, and maybe integrate some of those elements inside your procedures for change control, because yeah, these are rules that maybe you will have to follow, so verify that. So it's a position paper, it's not binding, so just verify mainly if this is really applicable and if this is something that you can maybe apply also for your product. Okay, we have a new document from the European Committee of EDQM, European Committee or something. So mainly interesting documents about which can impact all of us, so it's why it's important, which you can discover something maybe here with this document, is the fact that there is a big risk for transplantations. So for donors and receivers of mainly the organs, which can be a big problem. Because for doing those kind of transplantations, you have to test the donors, to test or to make some substances of human origin preparation with the receiver also. In that case, you need some in vitro diagnostic products, for example, some testing, some elements to do, and for that sometimes you need also to do in-house devices or in-house testing to be done. And here they are alerting about the risks related to that, because the products that they are using, they are so niche that we see now more and more a trend of manufacturers dropping these products from the market, saying, yeah, it's too expensive to go to the EU with this product because mainly it will cost us too much in terms of consulting, notified bodies, registration, whatever, etc. So the process is too long, the administrative process is too long also, and this is niche product as we mentioned here. So here this document mainly is alerting about the situation where we can have a big situation for transplantation because of a lack of devices that can be then used during those processes. And here they are providing also some guidances, or not some recommendation mainly, which are interesting. So let's listen to them. So the first one is mainly that mainly we have to dedicate mainly proportionate regulatory pathway for niche products. So mainly when we consider this as a niche product, so mainly we should have a specific pathway for it, because yeah, there is really some specific risk here related to, as I said, people or manufacturers deciding to drop and to say no, we are withdrawing our products on the market because it's too expensive. Second is interesting, it's about placing on the market. Article 5.G, which is mainly saying that healthcare institution has to create a documentation for products, etc. And here they say, can we point these specific things only for high-risk devices and not for any small niche products or any small IVD? So interesting. There is also a request to update the MDCG guidance on in-house devices to better reflect the operational reality of healthcare institutions. And lastly, which is interesting also, it's the use of off-label use and RUO, so research purpose, which should not fall, which are not falling, under Article 5.5 of the EU MDR, which makes them in the gray zone. So they want apparently more clarity, more explanation about this type of product, and also alerting, and this is the most important, alerting about this field of transplantation where, because of the EU MDR, we may have some disruptions on the market for some IVD, some products, some testing products, which can put the patient in danger and then can also make the transplantation fail. So please, regulators, listen to this because I hope, as soon as it's touching patients, and already the process of donning your organs is really intimate process, if I can say, or something difficult. People are really reluctant sometimes to do that. So if they decide to do it and the only problem is because there is some miss on some devices, this is not really really nice. So please look at that, and if you have any question, you can go on the show notes and find this document. There is I just summarized the recommendation, but there is a full text about them. Okay, now Team NB proposal for MDR and IVDR, so which is interesting also. So here we have 5 topics that Team NB is proposing. The first one is mentioning about having communication with notified bodies, which means mainly asking for early dialogue with notified bodies. So mainly asking manufacturers to have an early dialogue with notified bodies, to discuss with them, etc., to have the possibility to do that. I suppose the structured dialogue is mainly one of the way to do this kind of thing, but yeah, there is some requests to have some early dialogue with manufacturers to help them already early on, so mainly to pass some processes. Second is the article 61.10, the famous article 61.10, which can help you to avoid clinical data, to move without clinical data in certain conditions again. And here they are asking, can we have more clarity about this article, because manufacturer misunderstand it, notified bodies sometimes misunderstand it, I suppose, also. So then at the end, because there is some gray zone or some gray area, so here it's more about, can you provide more clarity? Can we narrow the scope of it also? Can we have a better explanation that nobody will really have any issue understanding if we should apply or not this article 61.10 for clinical evaluation? Yeah, because as we said, many manufacturers, they try sometimes to avoid clinical data or clinical investigation, and they try to use this article, but sometimes, yeah, they are not really eligible for this article. So this is mainly the thing that they are asking here. Next is about digitalization, so asking for more machine readable documents to be used, or also AI to support, which is interesting, this one, because I had this case with a customer, AI to support simulation to reduce animal testing, because I had a customer that says, can we not test on animals because our policy is about that. So here is a request, can we use AI to simulate some elements which avoids us to go through an animal testing, which can be really interesting. Then there is a request I didn't understood, because they talk about changing the coding for MDD and IVDD, but I was not, on the text it was not clear, it was not mentioning anything, but I was not sure if they were talking about the MDR code or IVDR code, or about the EMDN code, or I don't know which coding they talk about, or UDI code. I mean, no, because they talked about a coding that is not on the product or not on the, it's more an administrative code, so, or basic UDI code, I don't know. So they're asking for changes of coding, but not sure what was it about. Then this is for notified bodies, so they ask for a shorter process or timeline for designation and recertification of notified bodies, so they are providing some arguments for that. And lastly, a good one also, which is breakthrough products. So mainly, can we have a coordinated pathway for products which have some breakthrough technologies or new technologies, mainly to also understand that those devices, maybe it can be challenging to have clinical data for those devices, so to find a pathway mainly to help for that, which will be using also the expert panel for mainly deciding if this device is breakthrough or not, and then deciding which pathway. So they make some proposal. I don't know who will be listening to that. Is it the EU Commission? Is it, I don't know. But mainly this can be interesting to debate on those proposals and see if this can help to move forward. But yeah, don't hesitate to put some comments if you have some ideas, and if you know also which coding they are talking about, because I don't know exactly. Okay, we have some new notified bodies on the table, on the board, on the Nando board. So the first one is SGS FIMCO OI for IVDR. So we have now 19 notified body for IVDR. Still not the same level as IVDD, but let's see. Then we have ICIM SPA from, I think it's Italy, for MDR. And we have a notice, which I don't remember if it's Slovenia or, let me click on this just to check. This one is from, Slovenia. Oh, I was good. So Slovenia. So we have now 51 notified bodies under MDR. So which is a good number. Which also maybe, we can discuss about that a bit later. But we have also created a magazine called EMD Mag, and on the cover it was about notified bodies. Is this still the right model for for the European Union. But yeah, we can look at that after. Okay, there is also a change in terms of standards. So we have new harmonized standards that were published recently, specifically on clothing, surgical clothing, and also sterilizer. I think it's a low temperature sterilizers. So you can also find that, and you can then find all the harmonized standards in the list in the European Commission website, where you will see all the harmonized standards for this. But you see that we are still having some harmonized standards that can be helpful. Second, we have the Biocompatibility ISO 10993-1 new version. We thought it will be 2025 version, but apparently it will be maybe 2026 because we are still waiting for publication. There is a podcast that we have recorded and that will be launched later with Marina Daniesco for this many discussion about this biocompatibility standard. And so this is a document that can be also important for you because there are some changes that you'll have to consider, and maybe we can also link that to this animal study, animal testing that we try to reduce or avoid. And latest standard change is, or change, not change, sorry, it will come. It's under work. It's a technical report, technical TS, technical standard, maybe technical standard for ISO 13485, which is a TS 23485 mainly, which is a guideline that will help you to mainly discuss or to implement your quality management system. What is interesting is that I had seen that there is this standard that is ongoing, that is on work. So I asked on LinkedIn if this is really worth to having a standard or a guideline like that after 10 years, because now it's 2016. So ISO 13485 is the year 2016. So now nearly 10 years after, is it still worth to have a standard? But the arguments were really good. No, I like it. So yeah, because we have the ISO standards, we have also the handbook for guideline for ISO 13485, which I think is good, but on the comment was saying, oh no, it's not a good one. And then we have this ISO TS 23485, and you can find that on Google, where I was thinking, why again a new one? But yeah, there are, and I'll put on the show notes the LinkedIn post so that you can also go there and see all the comments. And yeah, there is truly some maybe misses in terms of ISO 13485, for example, for software. It's a bit difficult when you arrive to chapter 7 for when you talk about production. Okay, how do you produce software? So it's always the question, how should I write my procedure for producing a software when the production is just compilation? I click on the button and it's done. So it's there. But yeah, there are some ideas that we can provide. But so maybe you will soon see an ISO TS 23485 standard guidelines to help you then implement your ISO 13485 quality management system. So I hope it will be helpful, but don't hesitate to go on the show notes and check the LinkedIn post where you will see all the discussion that we have. Okay, now let's go to the UK. So UK is talking about reliance. So reliance is mainly harmonization with the US FDA. So mainly they are trying to see how we can get some, I think it was specifically about AI technology or medical technologies, mainly from technologies from the US, directly also to the UK with an harmonization of the regulation. So meaning that if it is a US FDA approved, it can be then going to the UK. So they are mainly looking at this kind of process for accepting products that are directly registered in the US, which can be good because then they accept product coming from Europe with CE marking. They accept products coming from the US with US FDA requirements, and then they maybe are doing some small checks from their side, but at the end it can be working. So the main objective for them is really the patients, and this is great when we hear that. Like, our intention is for the patients to make them having the latest technology, the latest breakthrough devices, so that they can maybe have a better health due to that. So which is mainly there. So go to see the article about patients to benefit US as US and UK and US regulators new collaboration. So mainly you can see what they are planning, because I'm not sure it's already available. It's really a plan for future. Okay, so now let's talk about electronic instruction for use. So we have launched with Easy Medical Device now since a few months Easy IFU, eIFU system that will be helping you to store your instruction for use in a place that is compliant to the 2025 1234 1234, yeah, for electronic instruction for use. And I have presented that also to the AFRI Summit in Egypt last week, where I also mentioned that this can be also applicable for Africa region or Middle East region mainly. So don't hesitate if you are looking for a system that will help you to create your electronic instruction for use. Go to easyIFU. There is a free plan, so where you can test it for free and then use this for your product. Then yeah, mainly if you have any comment, don't hesitate also to send that to us. We are planning to have updates and upgrades of these solutions, with including some AI tools, including some way to maybe allow you to include audio versions of your instruction for use or video versions of your instruction for use, so that many your users can get that. We'll also plan a lot of other things, but yeah, I will not start to list everything, otherwise we have some nights to stay here. But yeah, so we have developed this easyifu.com platform. Don't hesitate, as I said, to go and to check that and let us know if there is any comment. Okay, next we additionally work with the company called S-Cube Technologies for an EQMS solution, which is called Smart Eye. So if you are looking for an electronic quality management system solution, so Smart Eye is mainly medical device proved or approved solution. It went already through notified bodies. Everything was fine. Mainly it manages your documentation, your project, like technical file, regulatory documents, etc. Also your training documents, also your CAPA, non-conformity, compliance, supplier management, what else? Training, I said it maybe. What else? Yeah, a lot of things. I mean, everything that mainly is needed for medical devices. Instead of you having documents or papers or whatever, you can have some workflows that are already available there, and you can just choose them, and which makes your life a bit easier. It's tracking everything. The signature electronic is there, so then you don't have mainly to work on that. But mainly, this is something that you can also test with a demo. So go to the website on the show notes and then test it also directly. Okay, so now let's talk about our magazine. So Easy Medical Device also is creating a magazine, EMD Mag. We had a second issue that was just released. So don't hesitate to go on the show notes also, or on the website, on the media section, there is the EMD Mag, the second version. This version, as we said before, we talk mainly about notified bodies. Is it still the right model? And when I published that also, I should maybe put the link also on LinkedIn here from LinkedIn. There was also a lot of debate. Yes, no, it's needed or not needed, etc. So, which was also interesting, because mainly the article also is mentioning that maybe it's not the right model to be centralized. Like people are talking about the EMA, European Medicine Agency, to centralize also medical devices, or to create a new agency for that, etc. So there are multiple solutions, but there is nothing that is really for now ongoing. So the point here is more about opening the debate, because this is an old debate. Should we have, like the EMA, a centralized agency for everything, or like the US FDA, or should we have still notified bodies that are independent and working mainly for European Union for the certification? Yeah, so there are a lot of talks. So if you want to hear more from that, so you can go also to the magazine. You can also go to my LinkedIn and check for the link. I will try to find it maybe and to put it here. And also on the magazine, we don't talk about only that. We have a lot of other topics. We talk also about AI, artificial intelligence. We have made a fake interview with the AI. So, but it's a fake. It's a real interview, because I really interrogated an AI tool. But the idea here is that are you planning to replace us? Are you? So then they mentioned clearly no. They mentioned that maybe they are faking that. I don't know, but check that. We have also some articles about CRO. How should we use a CRO or not for our clinical investigation? What else? We had also an audit, simulated audit that we have done where there were some mistakes and you had to find them. What else? Talking also, if you want to buy cheaper standards, there is also the article about where to go for cheaper standards, like the EVS in Estonia, for example. I mean, there are tons of articles. So go and take it. It's for free. So just go there. And if you, by chance, you want to be sponsoring us also, and then we can put also some advertisement of your company on the next issue, don't hesitate to contact me. We are really happy to do that, and happy also to get some support from people for this, because it takes a lot of time also to do all that. So but kudos to the team also to help us, and as I said, we are also using artificial intelligence because we are not all English speaking and we are not journalists also, so it's a bit difficult to write all those nice sentences, but all the ideas and things inside comes from us. All the sources are also coming from us. The only point is many nice sentences. So it's why we are not really writing any authors or anything in that because we don't want to make you think we wrote that ourselves. But this is the idea to do that in future. But for the moment, let's use the AI tool to help us on this, and tell us if you have any comments also on that. Okay, now on the rest of the world, so we have FDA that is issuing a guidance for pre-RFD. So for those that don't know pre-RFD, so it's mainly for biologics, medicine, or medical devices. And it's also one for combination products, mainly when you have a combination drug device. So you do a pre-RFD to verify if you are eligible for this status mainly. So it's like a pre-sub, but it's for another category with medical devices and drug also combination. So you can then go to the show notes and you'll read mainly the pre-RFD requirements. There is also all the information that you need to provide, how to provide that, all the process. So if you are in the combination product field and you want to go to the US, then this is mainly the document that you have to look at. And again, for the US, we have the guidance on QMS or QMSR. I don't know, because they say QMSR inside, but outside it's QMS. So mainly, as they are trying to align now with the ISO 13485 for FDA, they also created this guidance on mainly how to implement your quality management system with that. So they give you a lot of ideas for each chapter of the ISO 13485 also, what should be inside, etc. So it's like the handbook that we talked about just before, or the guidance that we talked about just before. And I think it was Adnan Ashfaq that sent me this, because mainly he mentioned that when we were talking about this ISO 13485 guidance. And mainly this is something that can also help if you want to verify, but this is specific for US because they talk a lot about QSR and all these things. But if you are a US company, then check this guidance, because this will help you to verify if you are aligned with mainly the requirements of the FDA. Okay, now we arrive to the podcast review. So for October 2025. So mainly the first episode of last month mainly was about a conference called La Rentrée du DM in France. So mainly it was a highlight of what happened during this. There are a lot of interesting topics that were discussed, and it can also give you some trends of what are the discussions during some conferences, which is mainly great. So don't hesitate to go to to check this episode if you are really interested about the topics discussed during this conference. Then we have episode 358 about clinical evidence under EUMDR. Mainly here I am talking because I'm alone, talking about why so many dossiers are failing and how to fix them for clinical evidence. We have a lot of misses, a lot of issues. And recently we also recorded a podcast episode with Florian Tolkmit as he's a clinical expert, to tell us more also about those situation for failing, etc. So he will tell us more his journey and also talking about that. So future, maybe for next month. Then episode 359, we have the real world evidence. And the idea of creating this episode was mainly because of the episode on La Rentrée du DM, because they were talking about real world evidence or real world data. And then I said, okay, let me dig more on this. What is exactly that? So, and I learned a lot because I discovered mainly what it means. I mean, it's something that is not new because we are using that already, for example, for PMCF in Europe, but it is something that they are using a lot in the US differently, and I'm explaining that on the podcast also. So don't hesitate to go there if you want to maybe benefit from this real world evidence. Then we have episode 360 on the US government shutdown. So this is also something in the US. Rob Packard was really nice to explain to us what FDA can do and cannot do during this shutdown, because maybe you heard about this shutdown and a lot of federal agents or people working in the administration have no job anymore. They are sometimes working without being paid, etc. And here the idea is more about what can this agency FDA do, because if you are in the middle of a registration of your products in the US, maybe you can have some trouble if you have not already, for example, paid the fees or whatever, because they cannot accept anymore any fees until it's registered. So this is mainly the idea of that. Last, which is a great episode also, it's about episode 361 with Hatem Rabe, which is automatization of your QA area job with AI. So we are putting you directly on the situation where we are explaining to you how you can automatize your job with AI also, with N8N. So N8N is a tool that is helping you to that. I mean, we talk about a lot of tools, but we will present specifically on the screen. If you if you are listening just on your AirPods, mainly you maybe need to look at the video on the YouTube channel, because there is specifically a check on the screen of mainly how it looks like, how it's working. And we have taken the case specifically of, for example, the mode database. When you try to get the information from the mode database, you can just get it from 500 events. And here with this methodology, you can get as many events as you want, because it's automatized mainly for that. So don't hesitate to go to also the show notes and pick those episodes and listen to them again. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to share that with me. If you also have some topics that you want to see on the podcast, don't hesitate to let me know, so that I can also find somebody or make my own research and do the episode myself. Okay, so thank you everybody then. It was really great to have you for this regulatory update. Don't hesitate to contact us at Easy Medical Device at info@easymedicaldevice.com if you have any questions. If you also have some projects that you want, because we are also a consulting firm, so we are helping medical device manufacturers for any work related to quality and regulatory affairs. So don't hesitate to consult with us. And then let us know also if you have any other topic that you want us to discuss on this podcast, for example, or this monthly event. Okay, then thank you very much, and I wish you a nice day.